What if I told you the most important player on the Charlotte Hornets this season might not be the guy they traded away? It might be the guy they kept, because after years of potential, highlight plays, and frustrating injuries, this player is entering the biggest season of his NBA career. This season is going to mean everything to him, and a player the Hornets picked up who might not play for them at all. We're going to cover both, but first, I invite you to like, comment, share, subscribe. Smash that subscribe button now for everything Charlotte Hornets right here on Hornets Digest. Daily updates, daily news, rumors and trades and all that good stuff. So go ahead and do that immediately right here on Hornets Digest. I promise you, you'll enjoy the stay. Our socials, we're over on the socials. TikTok, X, TikTok and X. Smash that follow button at Hornets Digest for everything over on the socials. More news, more clips, more everything, more highlights. Charlotte Hornets basketball right here on Hornets Digest. The Charlotte Hornets are entering a new era. For years, everything revolved around LaMelo Ball. He was the franchise. He was the one that everybody gravitated around. He was the one they drew the plays around. He was the superstar. Now, the spotlight is shifting. As the spotlight shifts, the pressure shifts. And most importantly, the expectation shifts directly onto Mr. Brandon Miller, the former number 2 overall pick. He's shown flashes of becoming a franchise cornerstone. The scoring, the shooting, the shot making ability, it's all there. Now comes the hard part. Now he becomes the face of the franchise if he can pull it together. Last season, Miller averaged more than 20 points per game while shooting nearly 38% from three. Those are impressive numbers by any means, but they aren't just enough anymore. Charlotte doesn't just need Brandon Miller to be productive, they need him to be transformational. We're talking about a player who now has an opportunity to become the clear number 1 guy on that floor, on that bench, in that locker room. He has the chance to become the face of Charlotte basketball. That's a completely different change. That's a completely different challenge altogether. It's one thing to score, it's another thing to carry offense. The biggest question surrounding Miller isn't whether he can shoot. We know he can shoot. The real question is whether he can create offense consistently when defenses are focused entirely on stopping him. Can he beat double teams? Can he elevate teammates? Can he make the correct read when trapped? Those are the skills that separates stars from superstars. And the Hornets desperately need an answer. This isn't just about wins and losses. This is about the future of the entire organization. The Hornets need to know if Brandon Miller is the player they can build around for the next decade. If the answer is yes, the Hornets suddenly have a whole new direction. If the answer is no, the franchise may find itself searching once again for a true cornerstone. That's why this season matters so much, and that's why Brandon Miller's season matters so much. The biggest hurdle might actually be health. Throughout his young career, injuries have interrupted momentum at the worst possible times. Great players need availability. Superstars need consistency. The Hornets need to see a full season from Brandon Miller. Not 40 games, not 50 games, a full season, night after night after night after night. Everything is lined up for Brandon Miller. The talent is undeniable. The opportunity is massive. The pressure is real. Now it's time to find out whether he's merely a very good player or the future of the Charlotte Hornets. Bottom line. Bottom line. Royce O'Neale, he's not a superstar. He isn't a franchise player. He's not Brandon Miller. But he might be one of the most valuable trade targets that nobody is currently talking about. And according to recent NBA teams reports, teams are already making calls into Charlotte about Royce O'Neale. Royce O'Neale has built an NBA career around doing all the little things winning teams need. He's versatile, he's experienced, and perhaps most importantly, he can slide into almost any lineup. Need defense? Royce can do it. Need floor spacing? Royce can do that too. Need a veteran presence? You get that as well. That's why contenders constantly find themselves interested in players like him, find themselves interested in him. According to reports, Charlotte has already received inquiries regarding O'Neale after acquiring him. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Veteran two-way wings are one of the most sought-after archetypes in the NBA today. Every playoff team believes it could use another defender. Every contender wants another reliable rotation piece. And O'Neale checks all those boxes perfectly. That's why he's been on so many winning teams. The NBA is increasingly positionless. That means, guys who can do everything have never been more important. Players who can guard multiple positions and make smart decisions become playoff assets. Royce O'Neale isn't going to average 25 points. That's not his role. His value comes from helping everyone else perform better. Those players often become extremely important once the postseason arrives. They can carry some weight and they can help the young guys muscle through. Charlotte has options. The Hornets could keep him. Another great veteran presence, potentially coming off the bench to lead the second unit with Dennis Schroeder. They could use his experience to help guide a younger roster, or they could capitalize on league-wide interest and move him for assets. The key factor is timing. If the Hornets believe his value will increase, they can wait. If the right offer appears, they can act on it. Trades aren't always about stars. Sometimes they're about fit. Sometimes they're about roster construction. And sometimes they're about a player every team thinks can help them win playoff games. That's exactly where Royce O'Neale finds himself. He may not dominate headlines, but the fact that teams are already calling tells you everything you need to know about how the league values experience. Reliable players with experience. The biggest trades of the offseason might already kind of be over unless Curry asks for a trade from Golden State. But don't be surprised if Royce O'Neale becomes one of the more quietly important names to watch as teams continue shaping their rosters. Because in today's NBA, dependable vets are always in demand. Reminder, we're over on the socials. TikTok and X at Hornets Digest. Go over to both. Smash those buttons today for more Hornets news via Hornets Digest. You'll be glad you did. I believe in Brandon Miller. I believe that this is Brandon Miller's season. I believe that Brandon Miller is going to help lead this team down the stretch. I believe everything Muggsy Bogues said about Brandon Miller, that Brandon Miller is not only the future of the Hornets, but a future big name in the NBA when he gets to that point. I hope he's still in teal and purple. That would be nice. I really believe that Brandon Miller is going to show something this season because he's got to. There's no more hiding behind LaMelo Ball. There's no more second fiddle. Brandon Miller is going to have to be the guy that we all know he is. We know he's the guy. Him, Knipple, and the rest of them need to pull it through. I would also not be surprised if Royce O'Neale gets dealt for assets. I would love to see another veteran presence on the Hornets bench, but you never know. If anything else comes down, I will jump on here and tell you. Until then, for Hornets Digest, I'm Jeff Testanero. Let's go Hornets.